Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Lamas covered, three-handle family Gradunzel.
Mamma mia!
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
number four, armbar.
I will never retire!
I still got 200 more! I got 200 more holes to list!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the most must-listen to WWE podcast in Australia. Welcome to the B Plus Podcast. My name is C-Jaii. Once again, we are here on Thursday listening to the WWE Universe. Welcome again, Danders. How you doing?
I'm well, C-Jaii. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing fantastic. We are 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, and I'm starting to get pumped.
Less. We're 11 days from WrestleMania.
11. See, I don't go that far into it, but wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now we're heading into it fast. We've had an amazing week with the main roster for WWE. My main question for you this week, though, is bear with me for a sec. But are we going to get another one of these coming WrestleMania Day?
It's Dander's favourite show. Vintage reference. No, because Royal Rumble Day is my favourite day. I do love WrestleMania, but I don't know. And I think, this is going to make me sound so horrible, but I'm already a little bit salty about all the people on my social media who are heading over, who are, on their way to New York at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah, it's get the same thing. It's like,
What a dream.
I know. I just want to be on holiday, even though my whole life is a fucking holiday at the moment. But yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit salty, so that takes away from my excitement for WrestleMania. But yeah, no, Royal Rumble is definitely number one. WrestleMania is number two. But
Yep. Yeah, 100% agree with you with that, because I was just kind of listening. I was going through all of my notifications from today, and I'm like, I could use that. Let's do it.
Loved it.
So we do head into Raw this week with little to no excitement. I don't know about yourself, but I was not excited for this week's Raw, and we'll find out why as we move into it. So as the road to WrestleMania has rolling in through Boston on a Monday Night Raw, we get the opening segments with Ronda Rousey coming out, cutting a quick promo as always, and then a beat the clock challenge. When was the last time we saw a gimmicky match like this?
Yeah, look, I don't understand why they have to keep throwing the Riot Squad. This is like Dander's weekly complaint about the treatment of the Riot Squad. Why they have to use the Riot Squad to build to WrestleMania, and it's like it didn't make any of them look strong. It didn't do anything to build the feud. All it did was bury the Riot Squad.
I'm afraid it's going to happen again next week.
Yeah.
Well, as we do have the Beat the Clock challenge, Ronda Rousey overcoming an early onslaught to defeat Sarah Logan, defeating her in a minute 25. The next match was Charlotte Flair up against Ruby Riott, who failed to actually beat Ruby Riott before the clock. She did have the figure 8 locked in, however the clock sort of ran out quick. And then the man, Becky Lynch, defeats Liv Morgan in a minute 18, gaining an extreme amount of momentum coming into WrestleMania.
This reminds me, I don't know if you'll remember, but this reminds me of a segment on SmackDown many, many years ago where the Big Show had 3 matches back to back. One was like a last man standing, one was an I Quit, and the other was some other form of match. One of the competitors was Matt Jackson, and the other one, there was another one who is my good pal, Ryan Taylor.
Yep.
And there was some other one who I don't remember. Someone in that being the Elite Squad.
Oh, who was it?
I'll look it up later. But it was like there was 3 matches and the whole thing took less than 5 minutes. That's what this reminded me of. Was just at least they were all jobbers at the time. Like no one knew who they were. They were just like 3 jobbers. Whereas this is 3 established superstars.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. It was really strange to see how quick they actually disposed of the Riot Squad. And I'm afraid that it's going to happen again.
Yeah. Maybe after WrestleMania, they'll get maybe a fresh start. I don't know. I'm assuming that these 3 ladies are at WrestleMania are going to be in the Battle Royal.
We can't call that the Mae Young Classic, can we? The Mae Young Battle... No, it wasn't Mae Young Battle Royal.
No, it was Fabulous Moolah, but they changed it. Yeah, I think it's just called the Women's Battle Royal. Or
that needs a name. That needs a catchy name, because, to be honest, I forgot about that Battle Royal.
Yeah, look, I would love to personally see it be the 9th Wonder Battle Royal.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't need to specifically say China or, anything, but 9th Wonder... there's plenty of people who it could be. Like, it could be, like Medusa. What was her other name? Alundra Blaze. Like, there's so many women who, but I don't know, maybe because they're not I guess you can't really have a memorial battle royal for someone who's not dead.
Yeah, true. That's very true. But leading in for Monday Night Raw, we have a total of 4 minutes and 8 seconds for 3 matches, which has got to be a record on Monday Night Raw. Which is incredible. Leading into a handicap match. Finn Balor versus who we thought was going to be Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush turned out to be Bobby Lashley and Jinder Mahal. Now, Finn Balor have won this match, which he did, yo. He was heading to WrestleMania.
He is, and sorry to just backtrack. Joey Ryan was the 3rd person in the squash match. Yeah, my BFF, Joey Ryan. Fuck. Anyway, yes, we had the handicap match. I saw a hilarious meme during the week with all the the backlash with the Mustafa Ali name change of like all these like other people randomly having their name shortened, and someone shortened Bobby Lashley just to Bob. From now on, he will be Bob. I love this. Look, when it was like announced, when it started happening, I was like, fuck my life, not again. But this was okay. This was better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was a decent match. It was back and forth. I honestly couldn't see Balor coming over this match, because not only did he have Bobby Lashley and Jinder Mahal, 2 former world champions across the ring. But and I mean former world champion because, Bobby Lashley was ECW champion. Rest in peace for that brand. But he also had the Singh brothers and Lio Rush at ringside.
Yeah.
So he had a lot to watch out for.
Yeah, this was... it's just... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with Bobby Lashley. I don't know if they want me to care about him. Whatever. Just get the belt on, Finn.
Yeah.
Make it mean something again.
No, that's exactly right. I'm calling it. We're going to see some badass paint job coming into WrestleMania, some sick entrance, because he got quite a lame one last time. But this is going to be good.
It is. I'm excited.
That's exactly right. So congratulations to Finn Balor as he head to WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. Next match, we have Team NXT, or Blackachet as we like to call them here, Aleister Black and Ricochet versus The Revival. Now, before the match officially started, The Revival attacks Blackachet, trying to get the upper hand, but they both fight back, and all of a sudden, it's even once again.
Yeah, this was, these two, Blackachet, I'm in love with everything that they're doing. I definitely did miss them last week, or Aleister Black when he was away with
Zelina Vega.
Andrade's wife. It's so weird to me, like, because, yeah, like, I fully forget about kayfabe at times, and I'm like, but that's Andrade's wife. Why is she on honeymoon with, oh, goodness, they're the Jess and Dan of, like, the WWE world. Yeah.
Except I have more respect for Aleister Black and Zelina Vega than I do for Jess and Dan. Oh my god.
Absolutely. That's a maths reference for those who don't watch maths. Yeah, this match was awesome. It was wasn't awesome. It was solid.
Yes.
Again, don't know what they're doing with the revival.
You know what I want to see? I'm going to go into C-Jaii shitbooking here real quick.
Yep.
I want to see the two teams face off against each other at WrestleMania. The Revival retain, and then the next night on Raw, reveal the original WWE World Tag Team title belts. They've been teasing it for quite some time, and I want to see it happen.
Have they been teasing it? I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, so I think it was Dash Wilder that was posting on social media a photo of the old belts, like they were wearing the old belts, and then on Twitter, Dash Wilder again, he was tagged or he retweeted, I don't understand how Twitter works, but I think he retweeted a photo of a young child wearing the red tag team titles as they are right now, and his reaction was, don't put trash on your kids.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense because they're like the old school tag team. They should have the old school belts. I like that idea, and I'm sure that will mean that those belts will go on sale, which will give you like an option to buy them.
Hell yeah, it would, because I want those belts.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for some vintage, like,
yes.
I love my favorite belt of all the World Championship belts is the Smoking Skull, just because that was the belt when I was the most invested in wrestling as a kid, was the Smoking Skull belt. That's my favorite. So I love all those more vintagey style. Isn't it crazy that the 90s are vintage? Yeah, those styles of belts. I would love to see that. That would work so well with their gimmick or lack of gimmick.
Yeah.
Their no gimmick. But yeah, this was fun. I like this a lot. I think these two teams have great chemistry. But I think Black and Shay seem to go well against any opponents.
Yeah, they do.
I wouldn't have picked them like from NXT to come up as a tag team, and yet they fit together so well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, they've flown through the spoilers for NXT, by the way, but they've flown through the Dusty Rhodes Classic, so they've done absolutely fantastic with that. I'm proud of them that they've made it work as a tag team, because, yeah, two, I wouldn't say the very same styles, but they're not different either. They sort of blend really well. I'm excited to see how they go going forward into WrestleMania season.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the, because, I'm never up to date with NXT, with the Dusty Rhodes, is the final going to be WrestleMania weekend? Is that how it works?
No, so...
The final's already taken place?
You know what? I have no idea. I haven't watched NXT for quite some time, actually. I just read sort of the results when they get released online. But all I know is that we're getting the winners of the Dusty Rhodes Classic versus the NXT Tag Team Champions War Raiders at TakeOver.
Oh, okay. So I assume that it'll be obviously prior to then.
Yeah. I don't know if it's happened or if it hasn't happened, so I'm not going to say anything just in case, because I could get it wrong.
Fair call. I'm going to get up to date with NXT before WrestleMania. That's going to be my thing for tomorrow. I'm going to get up to date with NXT. NXT's only an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only an hour. Plus, you can cut all like the promos and stuff. So
sick.
You're probably looking about 40-45 minutes per episode.
Solid. Can do. I'm going to get up to date tomorrow.
Good luck. That's all I have to say. Next up on Monday Night Raw, we officially get an answer from Roman Reigns from last week. Drew McIntyre did turn around and say, "I want your WrestleMania. I can beat you at the show of shows." Starts talking shit about Joe's wife and kids. So need to rephrase that, Roman answers the challenge. You can tell he's pissed.
Yeah, this was like, I'ma talk shit about your family. And then Roman's like, don't talk shit about my family. And then bang. That's pretty much what I took away from that. That's my Glaswegian accent. I've been working on it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. There's a little bit of work, but it was alright.
Yeah.
But we get another match that is official after a brawl between the two. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns will be going one-on-one at WrestleMania on the show or shows. Please put it on the pre-show because I don't care for this match.
Yeah, it's not going on the pre-show.
It won't. It's Roman Reigns, but you know.
Maybe this, like, obviously the WWE are very invested in Roman Reigns, so maybe this shows that they're ready to give a bit of respect back to the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Yeah. I feel like he has been, because he's been tied in with this Bobby Lashley and the other people who I don't care about, Baron Corbin and all that, because I just have been like bored with him. So I was excited to see something a little bit different. And also, I think that we were talking about either last week or the week before how Roman had been taken from advertising for the upcoming shows, and we weren't sure if he was going to be at Mania. So it's good that he has a match. I don't know about pre-show. I don't think they're going to put Roman on the pre-show, but maybe like in between the men's title match and the women's title match as kind of that.
As that filler.
Yeah, as that kind of like time to calm down before you then get hyped up again.
Potentially. We have the next match, which was Sasha Banks versus Natalya, which laid the floor, I guess, for the upcoming match at WrestleMania. It was a decent match. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Sasha Banks, in case you don't know that. I'm not a huge fan of her work. To be honest, I think she needs to go back down to NXT and keep training. I know she's a former world champion, but yeah, I don't know.
I disrespectfully disagree. I was going to say respectfully disagree. I disrespectfully. But you know, we're all entitled to our opinions. But
I'm wrong.
My concern about this is, why are we not seeing Beth Phoenix wrestle? I feel like maybe they're saving her for Mania, but I feel like Natalya's been doing all of the work.
Yeah, you're right. Natalya has, because she's been in the ring a lot more. I think, coming into WrestleMania, as it was announced, we are getting a fatal four-way for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. It'll be the Boston Hug Connection defending against the... what? They're not called the Divas of Domination. What were they called? Divas of Doom.
We are the Divas of Domination.
They're going up against...
Divas of Doom.
Yeah, so Natalya and Beth Phoenix versus Tamina and Nia Jax versus Iconics Peyton Royce and Billie Kay at WrestleMania. This is a match that I am excited for now.
And as you predicted, I believe. I mean, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago, yeah.
Definitely predicted. Tamina and, what's her name? Nia Jax. Are they still going by the Samoan Slaughterhouse? Is that still their name?
No, that's our name for them. I don't think they have a name.
No, they were the Snooker Slaughterhouse to us. But they were called the Samoan Slaughterhouse. Was that what they were called?
That's right.
They were called something.
I can't remember exactly what they were called, but yeah, they're still together.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And I think that this tied in nicely to the announcement that the Hart Foundation are going into the Hall of Fame.
Yes. This is a fantastic, absolutely amazing announcement by the WWE. And to have Natalya still in the ring when that promo package played, and to watch her natural reaction while she was in the ring, that was just beautiful.
It was, but... no, I shouldn't say but. It was beautiful. The elephant in the room is... Owen Hart is a big part of the Hart Foundation, and due to issues with Owen's wife...
Yep.
Not wanting him in the Hall of Fame, not giving permission. I don't know exactly how it works, but apparently she won't allow him to go into the WWE Hall of Fame, despite Brett pleading with her.
Well, not only has he pleaded with her, but Mark Henry did it. The Anvil was doing it when he was still around. There were so many people saying he needs to be in there. He deserves to be in there. But from what I've read through the sources online, she still blames the WWE for his death. Which
is awful. That's... yeah.
Like, I know it sounds bad to say, but that's what everything's pointing to, and it's kind of upsetting.
Yeah, because, like, obviously we don't know what happened, and that for I guess as a product of its time, it's very hard for us to know what happened. Like, if that happened nowadays, there would be footage everywhere, there would be leaks everywhere. But because of when it happened, over 20 years ago, it's, the only people who know exactly what happened are the people who are involved. Accidents
and the people
happen,
that were in the audience,
yeah, and all the more reason that he should go in the Hall of Fame, because he, it shouldn't be like a Chris Benoit thing where it's like pretend he never existed or anything like that. It's like he should be honoured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. But however, we are getting the Hart Foundation into the Hall of Fame, so congratulations to the pair of them. Can't wait to hear that speech. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Do we know who's inducting them?
I think they're doing away with the that situation. From what I've read, they're changing the Hall of Fame completely this year.
Fair enough. I personally like the inductions.
Yeah, I love it. Puts a bit more personal touch.
Yeah, they can be a little bit long at times, but yeah, I really like the induction. So that's a shame, but like I'm sure that they know what they're doing.
That's exactly right. And another shame that I have to admit, unfortunately, we are officially seeing Saturday Night Live host Colin Jost and Michael Che. Am I saying that right? Michael Che. Michael Che. They're entering the Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
I could not give any fewer shits about this. Braun Strowman won Money in the Bank. He was challenging the winner of Brock versus Roman. He was going to be the next champion, and now he is going to be eliminated by 2 television hosts in the pre-show of a fucking WrestleMania. Like, I can't even. Yeah, I don't know.
Your rants are great. That's all I have to say. Your rants are great. This entire segment, though, is just to sell toys by the looks of it, and it's actually pissing me off. This was a moment of bliss that was completely wasted, apart from the fact that, Alexa Bliss was out on TV again. She actually returned to the ring during a live event this week, so that is fantastic to hear. She's cleared from injury. They just don't have anything for her.
Yeah, I assume that she'll be going in the 9th Wonder Battle Royal. That's what I'm calling it. The 9th Wonder Battle Royale. I assume. Like, I can't see her being anywhere else.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'd say that's where it is. So, waste of a segment, from my opinion. Then we get Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin. This was just a quick match. Baron Corbin, of course, gearing up against Kurt Angle's retirement match. We have Baron Corbin defeating Apollo Crews, delivering another end of days after the match. Waste of time. Then we get another Seth Rollins segment, as always.
Yep.
Because he's king of the microphone and he deserves to have a microphone in his hand nearly the entire time. I reckon if he was to retire from in-ring competiting, he should become a commentator. Just 100%.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a really nice voice and he's really good on the mic. Perhaps that's a future career path for him.
Definitely.
I think that he would probably want to be more hands-on in sense of like a training sense or something. But I could listen to him talk all day. He's very good at conveying emotion in a way that's believable. Probably easily the best of anyone in the Shield.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. So, the Architect ran down the list of superstars who inspired him to be a wrestler, including Bret Hart, Ric Flair, Triple H. He said, unlike those men, though, Lesnar has done nothing to inspire anyone, continued on to saying that he's ready to burn down Suplex City at WrestleMania, and then the Advocate, Paul Heyman, interrupts to a chorus of boos, which was, I love hearing that every time he walks up and everyone's just kind of booing. It's just a sea of boos.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He used to be cheered like nuts when he came out, but now it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's a different feeling now.
Yeah, I think it's because people are just over it. I think that Paul Heyman should just come out with the belt. Like, he's the champ. He does all the work. Brock shows up. And it's like, this is leading up to WrestleMania. This is what we see every year. It's Paul Heyman comes out, does a bunch of talking. Brock, get in, get off, get out.
Yep.
I think it's showing that people are tired of it.
Sorry, get off.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
That's an official danderism right there.
Yep.
So we have Rollins rushing up the ramp after Paul Heyman's sitting there being like, that's it, you're going to lose to the Beast. You've had enough. He goes to turn around and walk away. Rollins does rush up the ramp, and Heyman, I keep going, went to call him Horman then. Heyman trips over his own feet, just screaming, "He's the advocate, he's the advocate." We have Seth laughing his ass off, saying, "You know what? We're going to WrestleMania, we're going to beat the Beast, and then he holds the mic up, and everyone in the crowd just burn it down."
I really like that. I was glad that he did. I thought he was going to start beating him up.
Yeah.
Which initially I was like, yeah, but then like in hindsight, I'm like, no, it's not really within his character. Like, shouldn't go, like this loose, crazy side. It should be really methodical and traditional babyface, I think, which is really good. And I like this. This was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Except for the whole fact that, we're 2 weeks out from Mania and Brock Lesnar's just like, I'm just going to sit on my farm with my hot 90s wife.
Yeah, his 90s wife, his guns, and his books.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it, and some cattle.
Yep.
Does he have cattle? That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, next up we have the next match on the Kurt Angle Farewell Tour, Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe. These guys have got a lot of history back in TNA, and I was excited to see this match on a WWE program.
This is the best, bold call I'm going to make. This is the best one-on-one traditional match that I've seen on either Raw or SmackDown in recent times.
Yeah?
It's a bold and specific call, but this was just a really, and I didn't expect it from Kurt Angle because he is a dinosaur. But this was just two guys who know each other so well in a really old school style match. I loved it.
Yeah, it was really good. It was back and forth, suplex to submission. It was fantastic. It was good to see these two go at it one more time because I honestly enjoyed this. It was so much fun. In the end, Kurt Angle defeated Samoa Joe, earning him a future United... No, I'm kidding. Earning him a one-way trip to WrestleMania. So, yeah, it was good to see this last stop. Well, third last stop would it be? On his farewell tour?
So he's got I think his final match
would be next Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Because he's just had his last match on SmackDown Live. Yeah, so this would be his third last match. So congratulations to Joe. You've got that honor.
Who's he facing next week?
I don't think they've announced it yet.
Because people have been calling it his TNA farewell tour.
Just about.
So yeah.
Just about.
He might not even necessarily have a match on Monday. I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows? It could be his farewell thing. I don't know. However, we get the next match, which very well and truly could lead into a final match. Triple H addresses the WWE Universe, where it comes to Batista getting what he wants. What he really, really wants. He's telling us what he wants, what he really, really wants.
You know what? That's so funny because last night I went to the Moonlight Cinema and I saw Spice World the movie. So it's a very topical reference for me right now. Yeah, it was
fantastic.
Yeah, it was fucking sick. I still know it word for word. I haven't seen it in 15, 20 years, but yeah, I still know it word for word. Wasn't this segment fantastic? Like, when they kept being like, we've got Triple H live. It's like the whole thing's fucking live. It's a live show. But okay, weird flex, but okay. But
yeah,
this feud, considering it's come from semi out of nowhere, there were some building indicators, but it's only been in the last few weeks that it's really amped up. This is Triple H can command the mic like no other.
No, that's exactly right. Triple H would very much be not only the king of kings, but the king of the microphone. He's a fucking god when it comes to this.
Yeah, and he's just got that. Yeah, I don't know. He can just turn it on. I really loved this. I was getting a little bit over Raw by this stage, but then this brought me right back in. That's
exactly right. It was really good, but we have the official announcement. Triple H will be putting his career on the line at WrestleMania. If the Animal Batista does win, Triple H will retire from in-ring competition. Wow.
Yeah. So, I know that we'll do our official predictions next week, but
yeah.
Is he going to... I just don't see him retiring. I don't see him retiring. Because I feel like he will be a traditionalist. I'd like to hope he'd be a traditionalist and properly retire. I don't see him, because on one hand he just had that awful injury back at Saudi Arabia, Crown Jewel.
Fuck Saudi Arabia. I mean, go on.
But at the same time, I can't see him not performing at those future Saudi Arabia shows.
Yeah.
Like, of all the things, Saudi Arabia seem to be really obsessed with DX and that sort of stuff. So I can't see Triple H retiring, honestly.
No, you're right. I can't see it either. I think Triple H is going to go over just because he can.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Then we get the final match of the night, which was indeed a last man standing match. Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre.
I would have much preferred the show to end on the Triple H thing. I felt this did nothing. This last man standing match just did nothing for the feud. It was really lackluster. Yeah. It didn't, especially when we already saw Drew McIntyre have that interaction with Roman.
Yeah.
This was unnecessary. It was boring.
It was a filler. That's what it was.
And you shouldn't have a filler to close the second last show before WrestleMania.
Well, that's exactly right. What I didn't get from this was, why didn't Roman come down and be like, I'm going to get the upper hand? That's what I didn't get.
Know.
It's a no disqualification.
He's good guy Roman. He doesn't do that.
Good guy Roman. What is this? However, the biggest, probably the most important news coming out of Monday Night Raw this week, we are getting our first ever women's main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah, which is amazing, obviously, but I wish they didn't announce it. I wish it just happened. I don't think it needed to be announced, and I think it would have been one thing at WrestleMania that would have been like, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it?
Yeah.
And then just do it. It was like, with the announcement, it was like, oh, look at us. Pat us on the back. We are so progressive. Yeah.
To be honest, I think it was just another way to sell more tickets, which was a smart way of doing it, because everyone's like, oh, women are going to close it. Cool. Well, let's see how it goes.
Isn't it bizarre that WrestleMania doesn't sell out?
It's really weird.
It's like, to me, like, you get in Melbourne, I assume it's similar in Sydney, in Melbourne, if you get a really highly competitive football game, like you get Collingwood versus Essendon, it sells out. And that's 100,000 tickets. I feel like WrestleMania should be bigger than I don't get why this is funny.
Because, okay, so in Melbourne, you guys are flat out for AFL. Here where I live in Penrith, we are so full of NRL fans, like ridiculously a fan. And without a word of a lie, I've been to a game where there's been 6 people in the audience.
Yeah, it's just Sydney thing.
It's a Sydney thing. But that's why I was like, you sell 100,000. We barely fit 100.
But my point being, WrestleMania should be bigger than Collingwood v Essendon. Like,
I think it's more of the fact that they don't have the room. So the fields that they use are, of course, Super Bowl fields and big stadiums.
But they don't.
Yes.
But tickets aren't sold out yet. Like, you can still get a ticket to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And it's 2 weeks beforehand. That should not be happening. WrestleMania should sell out. I don't get it.
They do hold a lot of tickets as well for the door. I don't know if you noticed, but when it came to MCG was sold out online the day of. And then when we got to the doors, they were still selling tickets.
Ah, well, you know.
So that was, because I remember I was like walking past and everyone was like, you need tickets? I'm like, I've got like 6, it's okay. So yeah, it's really strange. So they hold a lot of tickets for the doors, and that happens with a lot of live events as well.
Fair call.
So maybe that could be the reason. But however, we're getting a main event for the women, which is fantastic. So that concludes Monday Night Raw as we lead into the hype of the second last SmackDown into WrestleMania.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey guys, just a reminder, if you want to hear all of these wonderful B Plus podcast episodes completely ad-free, make sure you head over to Patreon or Podbean, where we are the featured podcast this week. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month up to $10 a month, where anything you want to help us with, it really helps out. It's going to help us grow the site. It's going to help us redesign some things, and everything that we get through this and through the advertising as well is all going straight back into the podcast so that we can get Aussie Graps out there for the rest of the world to hear about, for the rest of the world to see, so we can grow this mission of watch global, support local, and build indie wrestling. So if you want to be a part of that and get some really cool rewards like call-in shows, bonus episodes, ad-free like I mentioned, then head over to patreon.com/theb+ and subscribe today. Hey everyone, just want to take a second to tell you about one of our new sponsors, OUTBREAK NUTRITION. OUTBREAK NUTRITION are creating supplements for survival, sharper minds, quicker reflexes, all the energy you need to take your performance to the next level, whether that be on the field, in the gym, on the gaming field. That's right, they have specifically designed gaming supplements as well to help you focus on those late night sessions. They even sell coffee, you guys, at OUTBREAK NUTRITION. You can get coffee pods, you can get coffee beans, you can get supplements for the bedroom as well if you want to enhance your performance there. These are performance enhancing supplements for every aspect of your life, specifically designed by gamers, for gamers, to stay fit and healthy in the gym, to stay sharp and focused on the game, and to dominate in all areas of life. So check out OUTBREAKNutrition.com, and for being a listener of our podcast, they will give you 10% off your order when you enter the code B+. That is BPLUS at checkout. So make sure, if you want to stay on top of your game, if you want to take your performance to the next level, OUTBREAKNutrition.com, enter the code B+ at checkout.
Well, the show opens with the New Day. I wish I could do that voice. That would be awesome.
Day? I think it's a white people thing that we can't do it.
Probably.
Why do you gotta make it a white thing? Sorry, proceed.
That's okay. I was full of giggles today. However, we're leading to SmackDown Live, where the New Day are pretty much coming out. They call out the boss. They call out Vince. He comes out to address the New Day. However, Daniel Bryan makes his presence known pretty clear, saying that Kofi Kingston is nothing but a B+ player, and that he doesn't deserve this match. In the back of my head, I'm like, excuse me, bitch, you were a B+ player leading to WrestleMania 30. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I get half of that, and then half of like, yay, shouting out the podcast. Yay.
Yeah, I've been like
Daniel Bryan listens.
I've been half tempted to like steal like a little soundbite of it, of Daniel Bryan just being like, you're the B+, and I'm like, oh, yes.
We sure are. This was really good. I think, spoiler alert, SmackDown was amazing this week.
Yes.
I feel like it definitely carried the week a lot stronger than Raw, but this was really good. I like the stipulation that they set up with the gauntlet.
Yep.
Because it's really, the whole thing is that the New Day are a team, and despite Kofi, the easy thing to do would be have New Day turn on Kofi or Kofi turn on New Day. That would be the easy thing to do, but it's very rare that you have a tag team where one person has a higher level of success and yet they stay unified, which I really like, and I really like that the whole thing that they are still a team.
Yeah, and I love also the fact that WWE let Daniel Bryan sort of touch on the fact that New Day were like, we're going to quit. We don't need to do anything else here. And Daniel Bryan's like, just let them quit. Let them walk away.
Yeah. The part where it was like, what did he say? It's like, you can get together 3 guys from NXT and just call them Sunny Afternoon, and they'll throw waffles into the crowd. That was brilliant, because like I was coming back from I did a hike this morning, and so I had it on in the car just to listen to, because it was about 11 o'clock, and I was like, if I don't watch it live, I'm not going to watch it in time. So I had it on in the car, and when that happened, because I couldn't see, I was only listening, I had to pull over because I was laughing so hard at that whole thing. He was going so quick and in his like angry voice, and it was very beautiful. Very beautiful. It was hilarious,
It was a beautifully delivered line, that's for sure.
Yeah. This whole opening thing, A+, I loved it.
Yeah, definitely. It was fantastic. It was good to see the New Day hold together and be like, all right, yeah, let's do it. The first match, however, which was unannounced, Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
This should have been the match that they had at WrestleMania last year. I feel like this match was better than their WrestleMania match.
Yeah, definitely.
This should also be the match that we were getting at this WrestleMania, but it's not.
No, we should have had the repeat. However, yeah, you're right, we got it 2 weeks before WrestleMania. Even the announcers, I don't know if you heard it, but the commentators were quite shocked when the announcer was like, this for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Everyone's like, what? I don't think anyone knew.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just kind of like, okay, we'll just,
However,
it was odd. This whole thing was odd.
It was odd until you think about it. So right before the match, Becky Lynch is on screen. She does an interview saying, I'm bringing the people to WrestleMania. Ronda's bringing the championship to WrestleMania. What is Charlotte Flair bringing? I'm calling it now. Next Monday Night Raw, it will be officially announced. The triple threat match will be a winner takes all match.
Yeah, they're going to pull a Gino and Slex. I can't go through a podcast without making an MCW reference.
Nope.
Gino Gambino and Slex did the same thing at the last MCW show, the winner takes all. I hope they're not going to unify them.
To be honest, this is okay. So I mentioned on Discord today, if you guys listen to, were listening the live stream while SmackDown was on.
That was much good wording there.
English, great. C-Jaii shipbooking. They merged the titles, and then the night after WrestleMania, introduce a Women's Intercontinental Championship or a United States Championship. Give them a mid-card title, because you've got your main roster girls, like you've got, say, Charlotte, Becky, Ronda, Ruby. They could all fight for the main title, and then you have people like Lacey Evans, Liv Morgan, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Carmella fighting for the secondary title. It gives a bit more light onto it rather than just a main event picture.
I don't hate that idea. The only concern is like is the women's champion flittering between shows? Because one thing I find is when you have, I've been finding like with Becky and Charlotte, with them appearing on both shows, it feels like a huge saturation. Like you get over them pretty quickly. The other concern is if you have like a mid-card belt, it makes the division, say they assign one belt per show, say Raw gets the women's title, and SmackDown get the TV championship or whatever.
Yep.
It makes the other division look lesser. Like imagine if Raw had if there was only two men's titles, Raw had the World Heavyweight Championship and SmackDown had the Intercontinental. It means that SmackDown's always going to be the B show.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean, but what if perhaps that not only they don't float every single week, but say for example for 2 or 3 weeks, the women's champion is on SmackDown, having a feud with someone on SmackDown, and they bounce, but not as frequently. Like that's the only way I can see it working if they do merge and introduce a secondary title.
I just think that I'm hoping that they're going for the 4 horsewomen thing. I'm hoping that they're going for the end of the match to have Becky with a belt, Charlotte with a belt, and then Bayley and Sasha with the belts, and they're going to do a spot in the ring with the 4 horsewomen. I would like that, and then have Charlotte go back to SmackDown, and have Becky on Raw and Ronda retire.
Good way to do it. That is a very good way to do it. I never actually thought of that. That's I don't see Ronda retiring. It's probably a bit of a stretch, but yeah, that would be a good way to do it. However, a lot of the women didn't exactly like the outcome of this. This is just a couple of tweets from the women of the WWE. This is Mandy Rose putting all equality in the wrong blonde. Hashtag shaking my head. Hashtag God's greatest creation. Lacey Evans. Lord, what incarnation just happened? that was great straight away.
I love it.
Carmella retweeted something from a fan that said, "I came to see a fatal 4-way, and yet and see Carmella. Yet now I'm seeing this," and it's a photo of Charlotte with the title. And he goes, "I'm now sad." Carmella retweeted saying, "Me too."
Yeah, look, I think the anger that's coming from actual fans, like the actual anger, is just in the treatment of Asuka. It's just that Asuka, this time last year, was on a 2-year winning streak. She never lost the NXT title. And since Mania, she has had nothing but downhill. And then when they put the belt on her at TLC, it was like, awesome, we're going to get the feud that we want, and then we're going to get Asuka's going to rise again. But then, no.
No, that's what we thought. However, this is championship number 8 for Charlotte Flair, which is a record-breaking championship. Congratulations to her, but this should have been after WrestleMania.
Yeah, look, I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with it. I hope that they don't unify the belts, because there is enough talent on the roster to have a women's division on SmackDown and a women's division on Raw. There's enough. There's more than enough. There's so much that there's people like Carmella who are not getting on the card. We don't need to have unified belts. We need to have a belt on each brand because we need to keep developing women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'd still like the secondary title, but oh well.
Yep.
Next match, we have Kurt Angle on his final ever SmackDown match versus TNA again, AJ Styles. This looked to be a really, really good match, or what could have been a good match, except for the fact that Styles upset Kurt Angle by winning via disqualification, as Randy Orton came in and hit AJ Styles with an RKO.
Yeah, this was bullshit. This was billed as such a huge thing. It was like his last match on SmackDown ever. It's against, it's one Mr. TNA against the other Mr. TNA. It was fucking ruined. This was awful.
Yeah.
This was probably the low point of the week for me.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you. I was excited for it, and then Randy happened, and I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah. This is what Randy Orton does. He comes in. Here he comes to wreck the day.
However, SmackDown did make up for it with the moneymaker himself, The Miz, making his match against Shane McMahon a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Wasn't this to be expected though? Does Shane McMahon do matches that aren't Extreme Rules style matches?
I don't know. To be honest, he probably can't remember half of them after that suplex by Kurt Angle, but
Yeah, true.
To be honest, it was good. I was expecting it to be like Last Man Standing or something like that, or an I Quit match at WrestleMania. But Falls Count Anywhere works too.
Does that make it no DQ?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it will. Because it's literally just Falls Count Anywhere. You've got to make your opponent pin. Or submit, I believe. I can't remember. But yeah, so we're getting a Falls Count Anywhere after The Miz, of course, ran through security, and congratulations on getting screen time with Shelton Benjamin, Primo, and Sanity.
Yeah, this was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It's just okay. Sanity got screen time after 6.5 months of not being on TV.
Yeah, it was
Well done.
odd. It was odd. This was okay.
To be honest, Eric Young walked out and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And I was like, oh shit, that's Sanity.
Yeah, I know, right?
Legit, I was like, who the fuck is that? Did they just call someone up? Because I didn't even notice. And then I was like, oh wait, there's Killian Dane. I know that guy. But yeah, it was pretty intense. And then we get the New Day running the gauntlet. What a match. This was full of ups and downs.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this, because this was done so well. This was brilliant. Again, I would have, same as last week, I would have liked to see a stipulation for this, if you beat the New Day, you get a tag team opportunity or something, just to
make it a bit more intriguing.
Yeah, and then but this was fantastic. Yeah, it was beautiful. The moment with the Usos, particularly.
Oh, that made me cry.
I had tears in my eyes with that was probably the one moment of the week where I forgot that it's all fake. That was
yes.
Because I'm sure part of it was from the heart with the Usos. There's obviously a lot of respect there, and when they were he deserves to go, we forfeit. I was because I could kind of tell when they were halfway through. I'm like, are they going to just lay down for a pin? And I was like, oh my God, what if they lay down for a pin and then they do a roll up, a sneaky roll up? And it's but then when they just said we forfeit, I'm like, that's fantastic. They still look strong, without a shit pin or whatever. I loved this. I loved this whole thing.
It was fantastic. And again, it made me cry. Eventually, we saw the New Day going over, defeating Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Usos by forfeit, and Daniel Bryan and Rowan after pinning Rowan underneath the announcer's table, which apparently weighs 300 kilos.
Just put the steps on top of it, because don't they weigh 500 pounds?
Yeah, something like that. Ridiculous. But congratulations on Kofi Kingston. We're officially getting Kofi Mania. Greg, you are wrong. Kofi did not get robbed. But we've got our probably third main event for WrestleMania set, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, this is, considering that this kind of all happened by accident. I guess similar with like the Becky hype that kind of really took off thanks to an error by Nia Jax. This was unfortunately at the expense of Ali. Now, as he's known, the injury of Ali. I'm not even going to get into that. At the expense of Ali, this has turned into people care about this far more than they care about Seth versus Brock. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
So I think we are going to see one of the babyfaces lose. Unfortunately, my prediction... I'm going to put my prediction out there early. I'm seeing Daniel Bryan to retain and have The Miz take it off him at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have all happy endings at WrestleMania. I guess it's not realistic, but I would like to... Of all of the three, I would like to see... I don't know, I guess... I don't want any of them to lose. If I had to pick, it would be Seth, even if it meant Brock holding onto the belt forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want them all to win.
Yeah, let's just have them all win anyway, make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Now, the next news of the night, not really an in-ring thing. Well, it is an in-ring thing. The only thing after Raw and SmackDown, after a fantastic week, both Brie and Nikki Bella have officially announced their retirement from in-ring competition.
Brie's fucking retiring for like the 5th time. Like, get your shit together. It doesn't... This was obviously quite sad, but it didn't make any sense to me, because it's like, why are they retiring when Nikki had one match at Evolution, and then prior to that, the last one was when she got engaged, 2 years ago. It just didn't make any sense, and I felt like this really detracted from the WrestleMania hype. I don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It did detract a little bit. I'm surprised that they are retiring due to the fact that, they have tag team championships now. That would have been queen of that, but I don't know, I guess we'll see what happens. And then the last bit of news, which I'd probably get fired if we didn't mention, but Joan Jett is to perform Bad Reputation at WrestleMania for Ronda Rousey.
Bad Reputation is a boss-ass song, and I fucking hate it now that I associate it with Ronda Rousey. I used to love that song because, I don't know if you can imagine, but I have a little bit of a bad reputation myself, or I did in my youth. I loved that song. That was my anthem. And look, I mean...
Is that where you get the nickname Danders, the Manders from?
It is now. I don't give a danders about my bad reputation. See what I did there?
Yep.
Anyway, this is awesome. I think that this is really good. I've really enjoyed when they've done, like, the ones that stick out is Motorhead doing Triple H.
Yep.
And whatever that hippie stoner band that did the D-Generation X one all those years ago. And Snoop Dogg doing Sasha Banks's entrance. Yep. I always love when they do this. Especially because I do love the song. I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
It's going to be really good, and I'm excited to see it. We'll head over to 205 Live real quick for, again, once more time. We have the show opening with the original highlight reel. We get Loser House Party, Graham Metalik, Kalisto, and Lince Dorado defeating Drew Gulak, Humberto Carrillo, and Jack Gallagher via pinfall. So that was a good match. It was actually really interesting. There was a segment which I recommend you should actually go have a look at this. It was just an outstanding piece of choreography as you have two of the masked superheroes up on the top rope, and then you have, I think it was Lince Dorado diving through over the top rope, but through the middle, and it just looked like a somersault backflip. It was just complete amazing choreography. It was really well done. Then we have a backstage interview with Mike and Maria Kanellis. Maria says that he's better than the best. Mike shrugs off any suggestion that Maria was responsible for the win from last week. And Maria says anyone who doesn't see his greatness is just a hater. #haters for life. Drake Maverick rolls up and says that if using his wife to get victories is what it takes, he's all for it, and he's the guy who stopped Akira Tozawa from hunting Mike down and putting his head through a windshield. So he's booked a rematch with Brian Kendrick in Tozawa's corner to counter Maria's influence, which was interesting, so we're going to see that next week. Buddy Murphy cuts a quick promo for the Performance Center, saying that he's here to protect Tony Nese and his title match. He knows that Tony's coming for revenge and doesn't want to hurt him. The attack last week was just a warning. Thinks that Nese is great, and he's greatest cruiserweight of all time. As he's talking, though, Nese appears in the window behind him and blindsides him with a forearm. This is going to be a physical match on the pre-show. I'm excited to see this. Then we get One Lorcan coming to ringside for the final match, who looks to be like he's coming in for a permanent move to 205 Live from NXT, which is pretty good. But Ari Daivari defeating Cedric Alexander via pinfall. So this is interesting. It's an interesting build to WrestleMania, considering they only have the one championship. Everyone else is just kind of being like, but that's 205 Live.
Solid. I didn't watch it, as always.
I pretty much... Nah, it's not that. It's one of those things that are directly after SmackDown Live, and it's an hour of wrestling where half the people that go into 205 no one knows about, so it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, solid. But all in all, a quality week from WWE. I felt like Raw was a little bit of... I felt like the promos were the strongest point as opposed to the matches, and SmackDown just delivered as they love doing.
That's exactly right. We are 11 days away from WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot wait for next week. We'll have our predictions, our spoilers, and everything else that we need for WrestleMania as we come in for our WrestleMania pre-show and a really nice episode for you guys. But that wraps up WWE Universe this week. Danders, where can we find you?
I can find me on Twitter at Danderfield, getting fights with me there. I am back on Instagram. I said I was going to go, but I think at least for WrestleMania season, I'll be back at Rachel Danderfield on Instagram. Please don't add me on Facebook. I haven't had any requests this week. I've been really proud of y'all. But yeah, don't add me on Facebook. We're not friends.
That's exactly right. My name is CJ from CJ's World on Facebook and at CJ's_World on Instagram. However, we collectively are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. But we're the B Plus everywhere else. That includes Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, we've got it. Including Podbean and Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/the B Plus. If you want to get in on our mission to watch global and support local, that is a place to do it. Every dollar that comes in goes into growing the show, helping out the Australian wrestling scene. Getting ad-free episodes is one of your bonuses, as well as custom episodes, exclusive content, and all sorts of awesome rewards, so go ahead, get around it. Of course, if you are listening on iTunes or Spotify, feel free to give us a 5-star review if you feel so inclined, and as always, thank you for listening.
Hold one! Arm drag!
You're not doing this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list!
So, now speak English.
Dummy! Goodbye and good night! Hold two! Arm bar!
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy!